Hello everyone, welcome back to the final part of the Charles project that I've been doing for the past 2 months now. And for me, Charles has been one of the immortal that I look forward to use since year one of IK. But of course, with introduction of the red skills, the Chaos Immortals, he fell behind the pecking order of the best tanks in the game. And I've been trying to make him work and come back into today's meta, at least to a certain extent. And in this video, the final part, I will show you guys how good he can actually be. With that being said, let's get into this. During this project, I managed to feel some nostalgic feeling again by using Charles into my main team. Keep in mind, I haven't really used Charles for at least 3 to 4 years maybe, and the only time I used a lot of Charles was during the year 1 and year 2 of IK, and then when year 3 came I managed to switch to Yi Senshin and then later on with Bjorn. So Charles has been overlooked for a very long time, and I find it to be really interesting with all of the newer skills being released with the Divine Protection, or sorry, Divine Blessing. We have the Life Protection, we have the Fountain of Life that can actually help tank your team, like Charles right here perform really well. And you know that Charles do perform generally better when the team is very sustainable. It can last at least for 1.5 to 2 minutes and even more. But recently with the Energy Mastery, if this skill wasn't in the game, I still think that Charles would have been into the meta today as well and even more popular than what he is at the moment. But since this skill is in the game, a lot of burst damage comes out very early, and Charles can only trigger 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 ultimate, and that is not enough, especially with Alex and Knife Through Butter in the meta as well. So his energy regen will be questionable, and how he can trigger his ultimate will also be questionable. But I think with this setup right here that I show you guys on the screen is gonna be a very decent, and I have receipt to show you guys as well that this team can perform really well against Alex Knife Through Butter as well. Now let's take a look in the arena, because I want to show you guys some reports with Charles in my team that performs really well. As you can see here, yes, I know my team lost, but what I want to show you guys is that my team actually can do really well. Keep in mind, Cos March is really strong. I do often struggle against this March because it's basically the meta March with the meta skills as well, just that the skills are at level 6, which performs really well. But for me, the one that I want to highlight is that Charles actually doing well, managed to trigger ultimate at least 2 times in 40 seconds and shield up my Loki, so I can do a lot of damage here, so my second team can basically take her team out, which I'm very happy with. This one is another one where my team really well. This one is the main March, and as you can see, Charles with the Terra Shield managed to trigger 2 times, which I think is really good. And the average healing or average shielding is 1 million. I do like that because that gives my Loki some protection that is really needed. And the more impressive one is from this report right here. I know he do not have the war talent on, but keep in mind this is the meta March, and this March right here is a little bit better than Cos March because all the skills are at level 8, and there are a little bit different variation of the builds, of course, but I think that this win right here is very impressive, and Charles performing really well, managed to trigger ultimate 3 times with average shielding of 900,000. I do like that a lot, and you can see that I barely lost any HP on my March because of course the Fountain of Life and the Terra Shield, and also you do have Tufa with the healing that helps out a lot. So that's what the whole idea behind of why I want to use Charles for, and this report right here just prove that Charles can actually work really well, or this might be a fluke, I don't know, but I think that this is quite consistent from what I've seen so far throughout these reports right here. This one, the last one that I want to show you guys is very impressive for me as well, because I usually lose to this much as well. So this one, Charles again did trigger ultimate 3 times, and the shielded is a little bit less than the average from before, but I think that this is also very, very good. And you can see that my Charles is actually performing really well, with Loki of course doing the most damage, but actually shielding. You can see how much HP he has left, which I think is because of Charles and the shielding. So I'm definitely very happy about it. So you can see that Charles is actually working, but in my opinion, if I want to conclude whole of Charles project, I want to say that it's been very, very fun. It's been very, very nice to try out different immortals again and bringing back Charles to the current setups and with the current skills that we have with the red skills. It's been very fun. I think if you want to stick with Charles, you can definitely do that. Do I think he is the best option to have it here if you compare it to, for example, like Björn, Athena, possibly Yeast and Shin? I think Björn is still slightly ahead of Charles when it comes to a double tank with Anubis. So you compare up with Anubis, of course, but also Athena, I think, still going to be a better option because of the wound immunity. But there are some instances where Charles actually performs better than Björn and Athena. But for me, when I do compare them, I want to generalize the reports of what I've got, and I don't want to say Charles is better than Athena and Björn after watching 10 reports where he do better in 2 or 3 reports, right? You still have another 7 reports or 8 reports where he performs a little bit worse. So you have a better option with Björn and Athena, but I think if you want to be a little bit different, you want to stand out, or better, you want to have 5 of the same element as I have here, then I think Charles is very, very good. And also keep in mind, only one adjustment to Charles with one update, then I think he will be great again, especially if he gets the energy update and it can go to 100. I think Charles will easily be back in people's matches, because that would be very, very good. So with that being said, thanks you guys for watching, and thank you guys for following this project for the past 2 months, because it's been really fun to try out different type of immortals. And if you guys have any projects that I can start with in the future, or any suggestions of which immortal I just focusing on, let me know in the comment section, because I would love to start a new project already next week if that is possible. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.